Greetings, everyone. This is Payman, host of the Dinsbaugh podcast. Today, I'm bringing back Dr. Robert Newton. He wants to talk about a couple of books he just self-published. Beautiful book, controversial for some, but it's actually telling the real truth, the unfiltered, the uncensored truth about some powerful things in this about our history and all that. So we're gonna have him talk about that. Robert, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Pleasure's all mine. So for people who don't know you, tell us, who is Robert as a person, as a man, as a human being? And then we'll talk about your book and all that after.
I have a very varied educational background, and well, also I have an Eagle Scout and Boy Scouts, which is pretty rare. I have had graduated with a degree in speech and English and drama from Cal State Fullerton. I have a doctorate, a Juris Doctorate in law, American law system, and I have a doctorate in natural healing using herbs and homeopathy and mind reprogramming and magnetic acupuncture and different things like that, because I don't like using needles. I don't like being poked with them, so I found a different way to do it. And also mind reprogramming, using but not limited to and NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, Theta Healing, Theta Consciousness Healing, swishing, what else? Theta Consciousness Healing, something I wanted to say. I guess I'll say it later.
Sure, no worries. So what?
I'm also been initiated in the third level of Asclepiads, which is a Hermetic type teaching based on Asclepiad, the most amazing healer in all of Europe during his time 2,500 years ago.
Wow.
And also I've been initiated into the highest levels of Kriya Kundalini Yoga and Tai Chi.
Amazing. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. My voice is still a little raw from a cold that I created for myself, which
Oh no.
well, it happens every year. And you're a real emotional person. You're your own worst enemy. This book right here, I don't know if it shows up. You Can Heal Your Life by Louise L. Hay says that, and this is one of the ways that I heal is through going to the real cause of disease, because it's not pathogens and stuff. It's here in the head, and it's here in the emotions in the heart.
Stress, yeah.
Yeah, disease, lack of ease.
Oh, absolutely. Perfect. Yes. Yeah.
So I just had a friend that contacted me from Bangkok today.
Wow.
And he was saying how we went into this hospital and had like 7 tests done. It was $346. Yep. My son just took his son in for 7 tests. My 1.5-year-old grandson. I don't want any more sons. And it would have cost him $5,700 if he hadn't had insurance. So,
whoa, yeah. That is the beauty when you live outside of the way overpriced Western world, especially in the US.
Yeah, and people confused about their gender too, right? Not there, but here.
Just to give you an example, I'm staying in the heart. I'm in Vietnam right now on the beach.
Yeah, I know you are.
I'm staying at a nice big studio in downtown, 10-minute walk from the beach, for a grand total of $287 a month.
There's hotels here in Pismo Beach that are double that price.
Per night.
With an ocean view. Yeah, per night.
Last night I was browsing on Airbnb. Check this. I was browsing on Airbnb. I saw a hotel room, basic hotel room, 500 meters from the ocean. Are you ready? 121 US dollars a month.
Damn.
$11. Well, 11 Canadian, which is like what, $8 US. I'm
Yeah,
actually gonna go today. I'm actually gonna
you
go
better,
today, just have a look at it, see what is
hey,
it.
you better scarf that up. I
Seriously,
would.
I'm going to have a look today at it. I just out of curiosity, what is this? 121 bucks for a month? So the cat is out of the bag. Leave the well, Canada
Yeah,
is no go. The US is a no go. Most of the Western world are completely
oh no,
self-destructing.
they're tearing it apart, and
Self-destructing.
in Holland they ordered the farmers to get rid of a third of their cattle,
Yep.
30%, almost a third. Yeah, they're dreaming up all kinds of things to tax you for climate change. But there might be climate change, but it doesn't have to do with things getting hotter. It's actually getting cooler. But you get
Oh yeah.
pounded here. What we probably have as a president, number 46, the most stupid, feckless moron that ever infested any universe. I think he would better fit in on a planet called Uranus.
I don't know who's worst. What you guys have or what we have in Canada. I mean, they both are the same level, right?
Oh, Trudeau is a is horrible. He's a communista from birth. Almost. And we were even talking about that Castro might have been his father.
You know how people in Canada, people that are awakened in Canada they call him Justin Castro.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's another story. Let's talk about today. You're here to talk about not one but two new books, and you're a serial prolific writer. You wrote about what, 12, 13 books?
At least.
Yeah, and now so tell us about
And
your two most recent ones.
well, the three most recent ones are let's see venturing into the heart of the heart,
Mm,
an extraterrestrial love affair.
wow, what's that?
Huh?
I like the name of it. Tell me more about that book.
Well, that starts out pretty saucy.
I like it.
Oh, well, you would like the way I would, if I was the way I could write. When people get a hold of that, they want to tone it down because
Mm.
they have publishing standards there on Google, so on Amazon. So that turns out, it starts out like that. It takes it takes an interesting twist, and it twisted in a way I didn't suspect, because when I write my books, I don't outline them. I just know where I'm going to start, and I might know where I'm going to end. But even if I don't worry about it, because it'll work out, because it's beyond myself. So since it's beyond myself, I don't have to worry about myself. I just have to get the hell out of the way and let it come through.
I see.
And it talks about Kundalini love, which a Kundalini orgasm's about 10 to 100 times more intense than a regular male orgasm in comparison.
Wow.
And it's so intense, you'd think you're going to die, but when you don't die,
Amazing.
it's like really cool. So, but then I took it because that was at the time of BLM and that other group, those two fake groups that claim to be these great things, and they were just BLM, which I call BBM.
Speaking of BLM, didn't they find like the some of the top
Yes,
guys with massive multi-million-dollar mansions? They were just sticking.
yes, it's a woman. Three women started it, and you're absolutely correct.
That's
And
insane.
now that they've been caught, they're justifying it. But then they've left the organization. But there's strings there. They're just letting someone else shadow them, but they're the real probably power behind it. No, it was a big scam. You
Oh yeah.
knew it. I knew it. You didn't have to be even that smart to figure it out. But
Yeah.
this is like something from the Communist Manifesto. This is what they always do. They come in and they churn things up, and they confuse your history. They confuse your sexuality. They confuse your history. And even now today, I saw them taking down another Confederate statue. And I lived in the South and in Virginia, and I found those, and I've been in other parts of the South, and I find those really good people. And there was really no reason for that war. It could have been worked out. It could have been worked out without a war, which happened all through the Caribbean. But in the United States, Lincoln is venerated as a great man. I have a different take. I won't say what it is, because, but I don't honor him. And I knew this a long time ago, and I've only learned more to confirm it since. So
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us about you said you have a book on Mary Magdalene.
well, this is the one that was before that. Mary Magdalene is a continuation of this book, and I knew when I was writing this that was what I was going to do. I could have put what was in Mary Magdalene in this book, but I knew it would be too much for people. So what I did is I softened them up with punches to the gut, and you can easily get this book on Amazon, or you can get it from me on my website. Just Google "In the Shadow of a Master" by Dr. Robert J. Newton on Amazon, and the book will come up. It's that simple. You don't need a link. Just use a search engine. And as I started to say earlier, my wife and I, deceased wife and I, used to watch these things on PBS, and different people were talking about, oh yeah, my master used to say that there was someone like Jesus there. And then I actually found the books. They never gave the books. I actually found the actual text that verified. And I also asked my Vedic priest, my Indian Vedic priest friend, Dr. Sam Paul, to make sure that he validated all the stuff that I found, because he'd been studying all this stuff from the age of 5 to 20 to become a Hindu priest. But he doesn't go around wearing robes and stuff. He's also into IT.
Okay.
But he's I respect him a lot. He respects me a lot. He asked me to come into the Positive Life with Yoga organization with him, because he said I knew more than any of the Indian people knew about yoga. And it could be true. I don't need to brag, but I kind of go by the operating system of, by their works ye shall know them. Okay, so if you're doing the works, then it will show up, and some people will like it and some people won't like it. The biggest problem most people have, and I even put it in this book right here, where I actually found out today there is I never found it before, but there is a text about the young years of Jesus that the Roman Catholic Church summarily took out. The younger years took out, which exonerates me for the bad things I've said about religions and government.
Wow.
Or maybe, yeah. So I'm going to get my hands on that. And I wrote a screenplay for this book too, and it's copyrighted. And I've been trying to get it into production. I must say, there's been a lot of sputtering, a lot of starts and stopping, and I've already had a nasty taste of Hollywood and the perverts that live there. So
Hollywood, yes. And you're not far from there, right?
what?
You're not far from there, right?
No, I'm not too far. I actually did a landscape job there about 10 years ago on this estate there. And Sometimes I would get a check because they were supposed to pay me cash. They didn't. So I went to their bank and I cashed the check. I had to walk the streets of Hollywood Boulevard. And believe me, it was a freak show and a half. And that was then. It's got to be twice. It's got to be 10 times worse now.
Oh yeah. What kind of freak show did you witness back then?
What kind of what?
What kind of freak show did you witness?
Oh, it was the beginning of this transgenderism.
Oh God.
See, I'm actually, I think you and I are pretty much alike. We're very tolerant of people, what people want to be. But when you're trying to teach kids that are completely confused, and I know I was a nutbag, I was a nutcase, even though I was high academically, high sports, high in Boy Scouts, whoop-de-frickin' do. I was confused. So,
Yeah.
but I never considered what, and I wouldn't have done it then. Nobody would have that I knew of changing their gender.
Yeah.
If you pick your gender before you come, and so if that's one you pick, you can live that life out, and then in your next incarnation, if you are a man and you think you should be a woman, then you can come back as a woman. It's that simple. It's not that
Vice
hard.
and
God
vice
doesn't make the decision; we make it.
and vice versa. Absolutely. Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh well. So your books, you mentioned that you self-published them. Tell us about the process.
Well, to me, I write the text, and then when I do it in about 3 months, I can write a chapter in a day if I desire. Actually,
Mm,
I did 10,000 words at one sitting
wow.
to get this book done because I was going through a stroke and I was fighting it off, and I didn't go to the hospital. I thought it was kind of amusing because I was thinking, oh, I might die, and going, no, this is kind of funny because then I'll be liberated. And this is what people don't realize. They're scared to die. What they don't realize is that it's so much better, even in the first level of heaven on the fourth dimension or the second dimension on the fifth. That stuff's all talked about, by the way, in the book of Enoch, that the Catholic Church is another one of the books that they took out of their Bible. So it lets you know that they want you ignorant and compliant and giving your tithes
Mm,
and and your devotion to people that maybe aren't really deserving of such. And so I so that's how this book kind of started. I knew what I was going to do in the beginning. I also used the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ by, oh God, who's the person? I have that book, but it's falling apart. Levi,
mm,
but that's like a writer's pseudonym, right? Not probably, or but he might be Levi, but he doesn't give his last name. But that's screwy. I don't care. Some of the best books I've read don't even have author attribution on them, like
yeah.
God's Law of Adjustment or God's Law of Just Compensation. Both of those, the people were so sharing that they didn't have to be egotistical enough to put their name on it. And I guess they kind of believe, like I do, is that I'm basically the channel. So in that book, it kind of sparked this idea. They said that Jesus was very unhappy with the short-sightedness of the rabbis, and that they had built a wall around their belief system from which they could not see over. And I use that as the reason for when he went out on those 17 so-called missing years, which might be in that book, The Younger Years of Jesus. I don't know. I'm going to get my hands on it now. I'm all excited.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Yeah. Wow.
something more to devour. And there's another book on another two books I want to read on Mary Magdalene. So just to see how we stack up. But I know that book stacks up really well. And
Mm-hmm.
then basically, I have Jesus and his best friend, later to become a disciple, went to Egypt, Greece, Tibet, Nepal, Northern India, Kashmir, and Sumer, which is right around where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers come together. You know about that a lot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Isn't that your lineage?
Not far. Yes, around that area.
Yeah. Okay. So, because we never talked about that, but I just had that epiphany recently.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I used those texts from Tibet and from India and what's that place I said right after India? Anyway, to supplant what I was getting myself. So as much information as I could get from text I used, and the rest I had to kind of piece it together through remote viewing, going back in time and looking at what I saw. And also I have reason to believe I was actually there on that journey. So I was really just writing a chronicle of what I might have actually been on. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, Kashmir was the other place. So
Yes.
that there were books by Nicholas Notovich, Novoti, Notobitch, and some other people that Swami Abedinejad. Oh, that's hard to say. Um, and Nicholas Roerich. That was another one that
Mm-hmm.
wrote extensively from records that they found there. So in other words, it wasn't a fantasy. It was actual stuff that could be latched onto and worked
Mm-hmm.
around. But I put it in. I could have made it a nonfiction book, but it wouldn't have been nearly as interesting as the way I did it. And so far, there's been several 5-star reviews on the book, but I
Mm.
haven't really
Wonderful.
promoted it that much as like I did for um, this one, In Search of the Elusive Mary Magdalene.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, go ahead.
No, it's a beautiful. Wow, amazing. I like it.
Oh, you
Why?
like the you like the cover?
Yes, very nice, very nice.
Well,
Oh, it's
I had an artist do this for me that I've used. She also did she also did this
wow.
one too. So so when she first sent it to me, I was really disappointed because I showed her a picture of something else. And I told her, and she's very psychic. I think she was doing tarot cards on me. She says, I can tell you don't like it. I said, just hold on. Something might change. And then what I got is I put the book in a way bigger size, like the size of this. It was like 1/4 the size or something. And all of a
Mhm.
sudden I fell in love with it. I said, you did really pretty much what I asked you to do. I wanted you to use watercolor, but you don't use them. But it's good you
Mm.
used acrylic because it worked better for this.
Wow.
So um, that one can be easily procured on Amazon Books and
Mhm.
either Kindle uh, or paperback. So when's your book ready to break?
Mine, the new book is gonna launch on the 25th of January.
Okay.
So super excited.
And what's the title?
The title is
Leaders with
with a heart, and the theme is what is your gift and how are you sharing it around you and around the world in this lifetime.
well, I share mine every day.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh
I'm
yes.
bombarding this planet with light and love.
Oh
And
yes.
light is a carrier frequency, and love is a co-quality. Without light, there is no love.
Okay.
And in the English gematria, you can prove that light and sun are this number 54. Light and sun are commensurate with each other, and we also know that the sun creates a lot of light, so we know that. And then in the Greek gematria about 101, there's a direct correlation between light and love. So
Mm.
we have mathematical insight, maybe even proof that's, you know, like that. That's
Mm.
what's involved. And then I bombard this place with it from the central sun and the Milky Way, the central sun in the universe and all the other planets and suns in the universe, and the central sun and the Milky Way galaxy and all the other planets and or all the other suns and stars in the Milky Way galaxy.
Wow.
And then I work a meditation where I bombard all over the place and a lot of people.
Mm. Tell us, what's the genesis of your book on Mary Magdalene? Why that topic?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. I was just about to get
Okay.
there. I did it because I could tell that there was a patriarchal bias in the New Testament, and obviously in the Old Testament as well. Very obvious. Very, 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 very much. And women were demeaned, diminished, etc. Okay. I knew a long time ago, decades ago, that this woman was given a reputation as a prostitute. But as I did a bunch of research among biblical scholars, I could hardly find one or even two out of about 50 that I researched this with that thought she even was a prostitute. And then you start finding out in the Gnostic text of Mary, which was also eliminated by the Roman Catholic Church in the 4th century AD, that ascribes her as a head disciple. And there's another text that Dr. Karen King found, that there are fragments that were left of it, but it indicates that she would have, it looks like that she was Jesus's wife as well. And that's kind of what the Da Vinci codes were. But the reason I didn't like it, the Da Vinci codes, I thought it was too hokey dokey. They were like making too much stuff up. And that annoys me. Even if it is a novel, you know, I stick to the accuracy of sources that excuse me, the accuracy of sources that I can find. Just because I could write so far out of a book that people's heads would explode, but it wouldn't serve any purpose because no one would be able to read it. So, but I tried to do with the In the Shadow of a Master, this book right here.
Okay.
I set the stage for this book right here. Okay, I got into this part, patriarchal bias and all this stuff. I got into the part C. Mary Magdalene was born in the city of Magdala, and it was a very affluent area. But it was also known for partying and sexual debauchery. So in 1591, Pope Christopher decided, through his genius, or probably more lack thereof, his patriarchal bias, that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute. And Mary was a very common name in Magdala, and Mary is a different iteration of Miriam, Moses's wife. So it was a very well-known name. So in 1969, the Roman Catholic Church rescinded that edict that she was a prostitute. But in the meantime, I still have Christian ministers talking about how she was this lowly prostitute and Jesus had to lift her. This woman was a lowly nothing. She was a high-performing woman. And I used two psychics that I have great that I know are accurate because I've researched their work and they've had their work researched. One was Edgar Casey, called The Sleeping Prophet. And I used to go down to the library at the Association of Research and Enlightenment in Virginia Beach. I lived about 3.5 hours away from where I was in Virginia. And also another man called Rudolf Steiner, who was also a theosophist on the level of his cohorts, Annie Besant, Madame Blavatsky, yes, Ledbetter, and did I say Alice Bailey? Maybe. No, I don't think I did. Anyway, no, I didn't. Thank you. And Casey came through with some information that Mary Magdalene was a pure soul, and she was in the Garden of Eden with Adam, Eve, and Cain, her brother, and then herself as Abel, and that, as the story goes, Cain killed Abel. And for Casey, this meant that she was very much a pure soul. And I started thinking, if you could live every incarnation with no screw ups, you could probably be a pure soul. And I get the strongest feeling that she did it. Can I prove it? Absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt. No, but psychically I can. But as far as information, they tried to destroy all this stuff or bury it. There's people that buried a lot of those Gnostic texts that were found in Nag Hammadi, Egypt in 1947. But then these same books were found 2 places. Compilation of different books was found in Greece in 1953. So you have cross validation from 2 very different geographic areas.
Why would they suppress information?
To control people.
Do you not know the truth?
Yeah. Let's face it. All I should have to say is the Vatican Bank, and that should say no more about all the stuff that they do. Should I say it, or should I just leave it not said?
Say it, please. Speak your mind.
Okay, money laundering, warmongering, funding both sides in a conflict like what happened in the United States Civil War, sexual trafficking, including pedophilia. Did I say money laundering?
Yes, you did.
Money. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Not very spiritual from my thing, but I have no issue with Catholics. I have some really good Catholic friends that I know are better people than I am, but they don't know as much as I do. So maybe that makes, maybe I get a pass for that.
Yeah.
I'll clap like a seal.
That's a good one.
I didn't plan that, but I can be spontaneous. I know I could do stand-up comedy without even having any routines down. I would see something in the audience and I would just start talking about that. And then, but I don't like making people feel stupid like Don Rickles did, or like, who's that other guy? Oh, Buddy Hackett. But I enjoyed their humor nevertheless.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So this is to keep women down. And or even in about 1920 or 22, when women got the right to vote in the United States. I mean, that's a long time before that came around. You had a lot of seminal women there, like George Washington's wife, Mary Washington, or Paul Revere's wife, who I don't remember her name, or Thomas Jefferson didn't have a wife, but they said he fathered children from his black slaves.
Wow.
I didn't feel that when I used to go to his place in Monticello, which is close to Charlottesville, but I can't say it didn't happen. And so it's just it's just now that women are allowed to have sports like men, and then all of a sudden you have these transgender athletes coming in and completely destroying something they worked so hard to get.
Yeah, that's very discouraging. Yes.
And that's by design too. That didn't just spontaneously happen. This
It's
shit's
all
all been
planned. It's all
planned out.
planned.
It's
Yeah.
all in the it's all in the Communist Manifesto. All you have to do is go and read it if you have the courage.
Wow. That's true. Yes.
Confuse everything,
Yeah.
eliminate your history, tear down the statutes, ban books.
Destroy family.
Yeah, destroy family, destroy
Tradition.
freedom of expression. So, like the president's being prosecuted or was taken off the ballot in Colorado by the Colorado Supreme Court for starting an insurrection. But there's only one teeny weeny little detail right there they're missing. An insurrection requires weapons, and there was not any weapons in that whole crowd that went off or anything. So, okay.
Mm.
I will take that course to I would take that case to the Supreme Court. Although they wouldn't let me in there because you have to be pre-qualified to plead cases before the Supreme Court. But I would do it in very few words, but very acerбically as well to make my point.
So when your book's already launched,
Yeah.
when can people get them? Where,
Well,
sorry,
they've been available for a while now.
on Amazon?
Yeah, on Amazon. And you can get them from me by going to my website.
What's your website?
www.drrobertnewton.com.
Mm.
Now, those books aren't up there yet, but all you have to do is pay $23 for the book and shipping and handling, and I will, and pay me through my PayPal app that's on the website and tell me what you want. Give me your address and I'll get it to you with a signed copy. Nevertheless, if you can read my signature, I doubt that you could. I doubt that I can.
Mm-hmm.
But after all, I'm a doctor, so and an attorney, so I can. Well, I was an attorney, so I can do that. I have license to scribble. There's a few people have really liked it. They said there's a name for that when it doesn't look like anything that. Let's see if I can do it and it shows up on the screen. Okay.
Can't really see. It's put it.
Yeah, let's see if I can get some ink. Most of my pens don't like to cooperate with me.
Center it on the screen.
Huh?
Put it on the center of the screen so I can see it. Before it was on the right, I couldn't see it. No, the other way. This way, to your right. Yeah. Further up. Okay. What is it?
Well, let's reverse because it's on the camera.
Oh yeah.
No, that won't work. That won't work. Anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to make sure no one can forge it. Although with AI, I guess there's nothing unforgeable anymore. I've been getting different things from Elon Musk saying that he has this trading system where you'll make money every day, but I know he doesn't have it because I finally got through to him and I found out that they're using AI. They're taking his face and they're taking his voice to pimp this thing that's a scam investing system to take your money away. So in the Mary Magdalene book, oh, and then the other information was from Rudolf Steiner that said that Mary Magdalene was a court musician in Egypt and that she did not trust men. And I would attribute that to the cellular memory of being killed by your brother and the association with men. Okay. And that she was also in Atlantis as a scientist and that she was another place I don't remember right now. But So I talk about in the beginning about her childhood, which I could only get from fragments, right? And these were kind of like psychic stuff. I knew that she had I think the word Mary also means hairdresser, and it looks like she had a hair salon, but did not cut hair herself. Then she had a cloth dyeing business where they were very famous for their purple cloth, which was made from the juice of a beetle.
Mm.
And of course, purple is a high spiritual color. It's known in every tradition, probably less in Christianity and Judaism and Islam, but more, very much so in Hinduism and Buddhism and Taoism and like that. So, and then it goes into some insights that she might have had as she was growing up, because she was from a family of wealth. So that means she got the best education, which I would basically say none of her peers ever got anything like that unless they were born in Magdalene, which was a very affluent area. Because the prejudice against women was that deep. You know, they were supposed to make babies and take care of the house, and she wasn't interested in any of that shit. So
Yeah,
imagine what a heretic.
I know. That sounds good. So I'm excited that your book is out. I'll put send me the links. I'll put them in the show notes. If someone wants
Okay.
to, if someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
Either on Facebook, Robert.Newton3, or on LinkedIn, Dr. Robert J. Newton, or on, what was that? Oh, my website, THETA4IA
Mm.
or WhatsApp, Dr. Robert J. Newton, or Telegram, Dr. Robert J. Newton. I branched out. I'm like a tree.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert, for coming and sharing your insights, your knowledge,
Okay,
your
thank you.
experience, your books. Pleasure all of mine. Let us know how the book does. And when you have your next book, you're always welcome to come on the show, talk about the books.
Well, that might be the hardest book I've ever wrote. I'm going to write a book about evil.
Okay.
I don't want to, but I have to.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds
I'll
good.
do that after I do the screenplay for the Mary Magdalene book. That's my next
Oh,
project.
wow.
But then I
Amazing.
might, in the Shadow of a Master book, this one already has a completed copyrighted screenplay. But
Mm.
man, oh man, it takes a lot of money, and it takes people that believe in your thing, because I'm not going to let anyone change my screenplay, which the pervs in Hollywood often do. Probably won't go through them. I already tried that once.
Yeah.
They think that they have a certain formula they use, and they don't like to vitiate or variate from that. And I don't need them screwing up and making my book some mainstream stuff. There's no reason for me to write a mainstream book. There's been 100, 200, 500 already written about those subjects. So I cover something a little bit way different angle. And since I've always been on a different angle, even since the age of 5, I'm well practiced at it at 77.
Beautiful. Sounds
All
good.
right.
Sounds good. Thank you, my friend. I salute you. Keep shining your light. You're truly with a heart. And keep me posted. I'm cheering for you. I like what you're doing, and keep spreading
The
your
light.
the light, yeah, around
Yeah,
you
well,
and around the
see, you're
world.
the one of the few people that knows that the light is the main component.
Oh, yes.
But I use mathematics to prove it, the mathematics of Gematria. So I don't like opinion, including my own, any more than I like to have those people not knowing that, making up shit about the Council of Nicaea that I talked about in the very beginning. I'm really not liking of that. It's bugging me.
I can imagine. All right, Robert. For you,
Thank
it's
you,
evening.
Payman.
Yes, morning, 10 o'clock here. Thursday morning. For you is Wednesday evening.
7 o'clock.
Yeah. Dinner time. Enjoy your dinner and have a good
An
evening.
international dateline away.
Yes, yes. It's only Thursday 21 at 10:01 here. Yes. I
All
salute
right.
you, brother. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Very welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye bye.